Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into something that's, well, super important, the chapter on place value. And trust me, by the end of this, those huge numbers, they're going to feel a whole lot less intimidating.
All right, take a look. This is where it all starts, right? The first page of the chapter. We are going to go through everything you see here, and then some. I'm talking about turning you into a total pro at reading and understanding these big, beefy numbers.
So, do numbers like these ever make your head spin a little? Yeah, let's be real. Seeing a long string of digits can feel confusing. But guess what? Not anymore. I promise. We're about to make this stuff so simple, it'll be crystal clear. So, here's the game plan for today. First up, we'll get into lakhs and crores. Then, we'll see how that stacks up against the international system. After that, we'll tackle the simple rules of rounding, crack the code on Roman numerals, and to wrap it all up, we'll do a final chapter checkup to make sure you've got this down cold. All right, let's get right into it. Section 1, Lakhs and Crores Explained. This is all about understanding the number system we use every single day right here in India. And the secret? It's all about where you put those little commas. Okay, check this out. This image breaks down a 7-digit number just perfectly. We're looking at 13,92,684. See those commas? They are the absolute key. They chop the number up into groups. You've got your lakhs, your thousands, and your ones. That's what makes it so easy to read. And really, it's just a simple 3-step process. Step 1, drop in the commas. For the Indian system, you go 3 from the right, and then every 2 digits after that. Step 2, just spot the groups, or periods as they're called, lakhs, thousands, ones. And finally, step 3, just read it out loud. You can do this with any 7-digit number. Easy. So what about even bigger numbers, like 8 digits? Well, this is where a new player enters the game, crores. Take a look at this example. The grouping is the same idea, just with one more group. You've got your crores, then your lakhs, then thousands. So this number, it's 3 crore, 67 lakh, 53,239. See? Simple as that. Okay, so that's the Indian system down. But what happens when you see a big number on an international news site or on YouTube? They don't use lakhs and crores. And that, my friends, brings us to the international system. So let's put this to the test. How would you read this number outside of India? We know how to say it our way, right? 52,37,819. But would someone in, say, the US or the UK read it like that? Probably not. Let's find out exactly how they do it. This table right here, this is basically your translation guide. It's the key to everything. What we call 1 lakh is what they call 100,000. Our 10 lakhs is their 1 million. And 1 crore, that's a whopping 10 million. It's really important to remember. The amount is exactly the same. It's just the names that are different. So, again, what's the one thing that makes all the difference? It's the commas. You got it. Remember, the Indian system does that 3, then 2, then 2 grouping. But the international system, it's super consistent. It's always groups of 3. Always. And that simple difference changes how we read the whole number. And here's the big reveal. The answer to that question we asked earlier. Our number becomes this. We just move the commas. Instead of 52, 37, 819, it's 5, 237, 819. And we read it as 5,237,819. See? I told you, it's all about those commas. All right, moving on to our next essential tool for taming big numbers, rounding. This is so useful. The idea isn't to get the exact answer, but to get something that's close enough and way easier to think about. You know, like saying something costs about 300 rupees instead of exactly 298 rupees. And the rules for this? Super simple. Here's the deal. You want to round to a certain place value, right? So you look at the number immediately to its right. If that little guy is 5 or bigger, you round up. If it's 4 or smaller, you round down. That's it. That's the whole game. And if you're wondering why that rule works, this number line shows it perfectly. Just look. You can physically see that the number 1,143 is way closer to 1,140 than it is to 1,150. It just makes sense. Using a number line is a great trick to actually see what's happening when you round. Okay, theory's over. Time for some practice. Let's pull one straight from Exercise 1C. The question is, round 6,850 to the nearest hundred. Go on, give it a shot. Think about that rule we just covered. And the answer is 6,900. Did you get it? Here's why. We're rounding to the nearest hundred, so we peek at the tens digit. That digit is a 5. And what's the rule? 5 or more, round up. So the 8 in the hundreds place gets bumped up to a 9. Perfect. All right, let's do a complete 180 now. We're going to leave our modern numbers behind for a minute and take a trip way back in time. It's time to crack the code of Roman numerals. I always think of this part as kind of like a fun number puzzle. So everything in the Roman system is built from these basic symbols you see here. Instead of our digits 0 through 9, they used letters. I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, and D is 500. You just combine these to make any number you want. Okay, so here are the rules of the puzzle. It's pretty cool. If you put a smaller letter after a bigger one, you add them. That's why VI is 5 plus 1, which is 6. But if you put a smaller letter before a bigger one, you subtract. That's how you get IV for 4. A couple more quick rules. You can only repeat a letter 3 times in a row. And the letters V, L, and D, you can never repeat those. Wow, okay, we've covered a lot. The Indian system, the international system, rounding, even Roman numerals. You officially have all the tools you need. So what do you say we tackle the final chapter checkup together and really prove that you are a place value master? All right, challenge number 1. We need to write the actual digits for 30,70,306. Let's just build it piece by piece. 30 lakh, okay, that's a 3 and a 0. 70,000, that's a 7 and a 0. 306 is 306. Now let's put it all together with the right commas, and we get 30, 70, 306. Done. And here we go, our final Roman numeral pop quiz from the checkup. Look at the options. Which one is the right way to write 95? Take a second, think back to those roles. How do you write 90 and how do you write 5? Put them together. The correct answer is D, XCV. So how did we get that? Well, to make 90, we can't do 4 X's in a row, remember? So we use subtraction. We put an X before a C. That's 10 before 100, which is 90. Then we just stick a V for 5 on the end. XC plus V gives you XCV, 95. You got it. And just like that, you've done it. From lakhs and crores to millions, from rounding numbers to cracking the Roman code, you've covered the whole chapter. So I'll leave you with one final thought. Now that you're a master of this stuff, where are you going to see these big numbers out in the real world today? Keep an eye out for them, because they're everywhere. The world is built on numbers, and now you've got the skills to make sense of them all. Thanks so much for joining me on this one.